We've been hearing more and more us versus them talk lately. And as Christians, we might find ourselves drawing lines and thinking that God's for these people and not those. But in Paul's first letter to Timothy, he reveals who God's heart is for. See, Paul writes that God desires all people to be saved and to come to the knowledge of the truth. God's heart breaks when people from all walks of life turn away from him because he loves the world and wants the absolute best for everyone. So that's what our readings point us to this Sunday. The prophet Amos, he reminds us that there are those who reject this free gift of salvation. And he gives a strict warning to people who take advantage of the poor. He reminds us that God sees the injustices happening in the world. His heart is for the poor in spirit. But we also have many reasons to celebrate with the psalmist who declares that the Lord Almighty raises the poor from the dust and he lifts the needy from the ash heap. See, that's God's heart, to lift up the overlooked and raise them to new life. And so Luke writes of a strange parable that Jesus tells about a dishonest manager, which raises a piercing question. Who are you really serving? God or your possessions? So God's desire is to pull us back from false idols and draw us into himself. And then Paul says it plainly. God sent his Son as the mediator, a ransom for all. And that's his desire, that through Jesus, every person might be saved. This Sunday, we'll see that play out as one of our high school youth is baptized into God's family. See, Gideon's not on God's side because of his strength or his intellect. He's on God's side because Christ has called out to him with a promise. See, this is what God does for you and for me. Instead of asking, whose side is God on? The real question is, who can I stand beside and represent Christ to? So come stand by us this Sunday and celebrate the God whose heart is set on saving the world.